The thousands of daily active users, it's no surprise that some of these popular servers try to take server owners try to squeeze money out of each game using pay-to-win system. A pay-to-win system is a practice where players can purchase items in-game and get an unfair advantage over other players. These servers will get young people to buy ranks advantages in the server. So they would sell you a rank for like $250 or $500. That just makes you a god above everyone else. There's nothing more unfair than being way behind someone just because their parents are rich and they just buy them everything. It sucks. It really sucks. These pay-to-win servers are such a problem that YouTuber The Horizon dedicated himself to crashing these servers. He is basically a pay-to-win anarchist. One of the worst examples of the pay-to-win scam is the server Wild Prison. In May 2022, a YouTuber by the name of Stalcy1 created a video exposing the Wild Prison server's scummy operation.
It says it was $499.98, but it's on sale for $249.99.
These guys are charging $250 to buy a rank to win the game. Just look at what it gives you.
What? That is million?
No, that's septillion.
That's septillion?
Yeah.
25 septillion?
With this rank, you will receive an almost infinite supply of in-game money that will give you an unfair advantage over other players. Once again, the problem lies in the demographic of people who play these games.
I could easily say that nearly all of the people who play on this are just kids.
But that's not all. The server also encourages gambling. Loot crates are an infamous mechanic in certain games. Players would buy these loot crates with real-life money to receive bonuses like rare cosmetics. It's controversial because people argue it's a form of gambling. Apparently, the drop rates on Wild Prison are low.
This lie, the chances. We opened like 1,000 keys and we did not get one of the drops.
This problem becomes worse when you realize the people playing on the Wild Prison server are too young to gamble. Wild Prison server owners encourage children to gamble money just for some items in Minecraft. But the YouTuber Stalcy1 found a loophole within the server that allowed them to break the restrictions on Wild Prison and give themselves a ton of expensive in-game items for free. Then they took these items and gave them out to as many players on the server as they could. Stalcy1 was Minecraft's Robin Hood, and even though he and his friends were bad, it sent a clear message to the Wild Prison scammers. But sometimes evil isn't so obvious. Terrible people can blend into the crowd acting innocent while quietly hurting others in the shadows. The worst of them all is a person called Sky Does Minecraft. Downfall of Sky Does Minecraft. In 2011, Adam Delver, aka Sky Does Minecraft, found a quick success on YouTube. Adam started a new style of videos that showcase Minecraft modifications. Adam formed a group of follow Minecraft at the time and earned now Adam's popularity has uploaded a YouTube channel for year and behind the online personality, everyone loves a long list of former media. Around 2015, Adam started a media company called Sky. The company eventually shut down in January 2022 and started a new shop. Almost every person is from first because she wanted to protect Adam's career. She said. Eventually, Adam and Alessa broke up, but the abuse doesn't end there. Finally, there's Elizabeth, another of Adam's ex-girlfriends. She posted a 4,000-word document in January 2022 to detail the abuse from Adam during the relationship. Adam allegedly caused both physical and mental harm to Elizabeth throughout the relationship. Elizabeth claimed that she was pressured into having a child when she wasn't ready and married Adam against her will. When Elizabeth was pregnant, she also claimed that Adam was hitting her in the stomach. Adam was also unfaithful and sent inappropriate pictures to other girls. Elizabeth thankfully gave birth to her daughter and escaped the relationship. But sometimes you just don't know what someone is capable of.
YouTubers like Stratos Minecraft are kind of the YouTubers I grew up with, and are kind of the reason I always wanted to make content on Minecraft or on YouTube in general.
You know, every platform has a dark side.
I think every community online has issues, especially if it's a game, because when you have so many people doing something, there's always going to be bad people within this insanely large audience.
But darkness cannot exist without light. There's so much beauty in a game like Minecraft. We can't forget the incredible creations that people make, and more importantly, the friendships built. But I want you guys to stay attentive.
Stay vigilant when you're online. It's not just Minecraft, basically in everything.
The internet is a dangerous place, so share this video to spread awareness and help keep your friends safe one user at a time. Visual venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet documentaries, because our new goal is 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. I love you.
A kid downloads the app, right? Ooh, Pokemon, there's little Pokemon. There are right there on the app, right?
He says it's a perfect setup for offenders to find their victims. He set the parameters for who he was looking to speak with, and within minutes, without reaching out to anyone, we had two apparent teenage girls reaching out to us.
Whatever you said. And right there is where you got the open door.
If you had a smartphone in the early 2010s, there's a big chance you've heard of Kik. At the time, it was the biggest messaging app on the market. If you wanted to stay in the loop with whatever cool stuff your friends were doing, Kik was your go-to option.
If you thought a girl was cute, your first word should have been, hey, what's your favorite color? As a young kid, keep in mind, this was before Snapchat streaks, before Instagram DMs. Vine was peak comic.
With strangers from all around the world within this small app, and at the time, that was huge. On the surface, Kik seemed like the perfect messenger app, but the problem was that Kik was almost entirely anonymous. You could have done this with they kept you in contact. Users are ever since Kik fell out. 2015, a Reddit user as those days The experiment. You see inappropriate content. And once you join, it only gets worse. As soon as we hit the join button, our inbox is
tired.
inappropriate
I'm
content.
joining this stream. I don't know.
All
Holy bags.
this is the experience of almost every kid user when opening the app, regardless of their age.
A kid downloads this app, right? Go Pokemon, let's go Pokemon. There are right there on the app, right?
The kids moderation team is so small, it seems like there's almost no one filtering suspicious accounts. And in 2021, they added live streaming to the app. It brought even more suggestive content to an app for young people.
Back in 2013, it was just a texting app. That was it. The live section is extremely revolves around girls getting money from simps or guys.
Instead of tightening their moderation, they encourage parents to add restrictions to their children's phones themselves. Every now and then, Kik will ban an account, but most of the time, people are allowed to do and say whatever they want. And in this next topic, a user took advantage of someone from Kik in real life. I want to take you to the woods. Before we continue, I want to talk to you guys about today's sponsor, Brilliant. So I'm a hands-on learner. I remember in high school math class listening to my teachers, and all I heard, holy hell, bro, this is MB. He's not even considered a regular user on Kik, but to people who actually knew him, he was the worst nightmare. The story takes place in 2013, when Kik was still early in its life. Many people were still unaware of the dangers of its app. At some point during the year, a conversation started between MB and a young girl on Kik. MB would tell the girl he was 16, and they talked for a few weeks. Eventually, MB convinced the girl to meet him in real life. Little did she know that meeting this boy was a big mistake. MB was actually 20, but the girl had no way of knowing this. At some point during their meeting, MB would lead this girl into the woods and they would do things. And MB recorded everything on his phone. Luckily, the girl reported MB to the police and he was arrested. While in custody, law enforcement checked his phone. It turns out this wasn't the first time MB did this. In fact, the police found at least 3 other girls who he recorded on his phone, and they were all young. In a letter to the judge, MB apologized to the victim's family. Unfortunately, at the time, I completely lacked insight into the severity of my actions. I pursued females who were a couple years younger because they were easier for me to talk to, and they were more easier impressed by me being older. Now they're making their dreams. Taylor's story. The problem is that young people sometimes don't know right from wrong, just like Taylor. Young people are a huge target for creeps on any platform. When we were young, all we wanted to do was feel loved by people. The creeps on Kik love taking advantage of this. In a 2018 investigation by BBC, there were
Luckily,
only
my
1,000
moderator's
cases
also
of this
dead.
nature on Kik. And that's only the ones
My moderator is 9.5.
story of a person who they call
What?
What? He's also a kid. There's a problem with that?
That's not allowed. That is not allowed.
They don't know that.
Others, she was taken advantage of.
Tell them to get off.
When asked if how many men have approached her, her response was shocking.
Don't just delete them. There's a girl before you
One
get
of the girls spoke out about her experience too. She explained that getting on Kik was her first mistake. As a kid, I knew that the attention I was getting from people was
Wait for
wrong, but I was underconfident in need of validation and attention. Grooming is rampant on Kik, and the fact that people can stand behind the shield of anonymity allows them to believe that they can get away with what? It's the perfect app for illegal activity. The black
I love sucking
Kik
on
accounts
cheese
are based
balls.
on Kik servers
Then
and
shut
use
up.
illegal items
What?
use Kik to
Stop,
advertise
you're
their
disgusting.
products. According to a study compiled by Coalition Against Abuse, almost half of dealers on Instagram use Kik as a method of contact for facilitating sales. And thousands of buyers flock to Kik to get their pictures. And sometimes buyers wouldn't just use an to buy. American JM used Kik to collect dozens of videos of young people. people, but it wasn't just for himself. Once he acquired these photos, he traded them with people to get his substances. He was finally arrested, but so many other people just like him are still on the platform. The kick message that sparked fear. The last thing you would expect is for a young kid to be capable of ending the lives of those around him. But it turns out this person who was bullied planned on doing just that. In 2018, a 15-year-old from New York was sending messages that sparked fear to his classmates online. The boy was apparently being bullied by his peers and was fed up with it. In a kick message group that comprised people from his school, the boy wrote that he was sick of being bullied and that he was going to take care of things. Kick decided to take action. When Kick was alerted about the situation, Kick contacted the proper authorities. When law enforcement caught up with the kid, they found that he bought a proof vest. They also found out that he attempted to buy more military equipment online. Michael Perez, a 5-year-old boy who lives 2 blocks away from the school, also said that he was afraid to send his child off to school every day. The kids' lives revolve around the internet. It's just insane to see how much it is.
That's not surprising.
Affects the way kids act. The father also.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Crispy, juicy, tender.
I just put my newborn son into a blender.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Crispy, juicy, tender.
I just put my newborn son into a blender.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Crispy, juicy, tender.
I just put my newborn son into a blender.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Crispy, juicy, tender.
Many cases like this get ignored until it's too late. r/Kid Pals. There's a Reddit community called r/Kid Pals, and people use this subreddit to find friends on Kick. It seemed like a great idea at first, because you wouldn't have to rely on Kick's sketchy groups to.
At Explore, we've upgraded our network to deliver better, faster rural internet. We're bringing more 100%
No! Mamma mia!
Say hello to my little friend! Her name's Mint. And she.
Go deeper. You know what I mean. And if you think that's bizarre, check this one out. Just hanging out at home. Husband's working and the kids are gone. So pretty quiet here. Please leave 21 plus and bonus if you could send a pic. It's so sad that these lonely people will go to these lengths. And even though they didn't make it clear why it turned into an adult-only subreddit, I think these posts speak for themselves. The forbidden community. With all the young people on Kick, it's not surprising that the worst types of people will come to take advantage of them. These monsters trade pictures of young people directly on Kick. A former CP trader, codenamed Doug, came forward to tell a story about the picture trading community on Kick. He started off trading inappropriate pictures of adults, but eventually got pushed into trading pictures of people younger. At first, some of the stuff I saw made me horrified. Like, who would even keep this around? And why would people send me this when I didn't even ask for it? But over time, the shock wore off, and Doc began to trade these in Kick groups. And this is what happens often. People usually make a gradual shift until they've lost all of their morals. Another story involves a Kick user very similar to Doc, but worse. In October of 2016, this user named Bossier Cocksuck would start a discussion with another user. Little did Bossier know that the user he was talking to was an undercover FBI agent. Bossier told the agent that he had photos of his infant daughter. After talking back and forth, he sent these pictures to the agent. He was arrested and is now serving 25 years. The story ends well. The criminal was caught before more damage was done. But in this next topic, the events that happened on Kick left the Virginia family with irreversible damage. I just wanted to make friends. This is Nicole M. Nicole downloaded Kick and began to chat with people on the platform. She planned on meeting new friends, but instead of meeting a friend, she found a person that would turn her world upside down. You see, Nicole was born with a damaged liver and needed a transplant before her first birthday. Now as a teenager, she still needed her anti-rejection medication every day to survive. Her illness and surgical treatment left Nicole with scars. And according to her mother, Nicole had emotional scars as well. Because of her condition, she was bullied in school, so she turned to Kik to make friends. One of her classmates said that Nicole, who was only 13, was even dating someone online. And Nicole wanted to keep meeting new people. So on January 27th, 2016, Nicole snuck out of her house at night, only bringing her phone and her favorite blanket. In the morning, her parents realized she was missing, and their panic set in. Her parents alerted the police and the search began. Law enforcement found out that Nicole was using. They sent out a request to get back to her house. Found out she was possibly a computer and adopted. And Nicole's life. David and Natalie were when they were asked what Nicole wanted, the user said Natalie said that she was excited to be special. But David is now serving 50 years and Natalie 40. Although justice was served, Nicole's family will never be the same again. Kik seems to be giving a platform for these horrible people to thrive. And because of their small moderation team, they can't catch everything. The internet is the most powerful tool we have for creating a more open and connected world. But please, be mindful of the people who you trust online. As helpful as the internet can be, it's also just as dangerous. The cases we've talked about aren't meant to scare you, but to give you the knowledge to spot these sick people and avoid them. Share this video with your friends and family so we can spread awareness about the dangers of the internet and help keep our loved ones safe one video at a time. Digital adventure. Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet documentaries, because our new goal is 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. If you're a talented scriptwriter or video editor and want to join my team, click the link in the description to apply. I love you guys. Peace. As a teenager, it can be hard to try to fit in. What if you like a specific video game like Minecraft, but none of your friends do? Do you force yourself to enjoy the games your friends like, or do you stick to the game you want to play but risk being alone? What if there's an app that can help you with this problem? An app that promises a community of like-minded people in whatever interest you can dream of. Really, it's called Amino.
You find people that you have a common interest with, because there's literally amino for anything.
On Amino, you can join all kinds of communities and make friendships with people who love the same things as you. You can chat, post stories, and create quizzes about the topics you love. According to tech news outlet The Verge, Amino is what Reddit would look like if it was born in the mobile era. But there's one big difference between Reddit and Amino. The average Redditor is 23 years old, but Amino is heavily marketed towards teens. And anytime young people meet in a specific place online, you also invite the worst types of people.
This is one of the apps the FBI is warning parents about. It's called Amino.
But Amino wasn't always a risk to its users. What if I told you that Amino was once amazing? And it started in a very interesting place, the anime convention. This is Ben Anderson, the founder of Amino. He had a dream. He once said, I want to create something from nothing that has a positive effect on the world. Ben and his university classmate, Ying Wang, went to an anime convention together in Boston. Ying loved anime. Ben did it. But during the convention, something stood out to Ben, the anime fans.
It was pretty amazing for us to see these really passionate people, complete strangers with one another, making friends almost immediately just because they had this shared passion.
And then the idea hit him.
And so we wanted to kind of bottle up that experience and provide it 24/7 for every interest in the world.
And in 2012, Amino was born. Then,
Well,
and a small
okay,
team
I
at
forgot.
Nardi Inc. created the first Amino community. In the beginning, the app needed some work. For every Amino community you wanted to join, you needed to download its own separate app. So if you wanted to be part of the photography Amino and the K-pop Amino, you had to download two different apps. Back then, the content was tightly moderated and users
Ow. Okay, now the game has officially started. But for her, that didn't count. Well,
Three, two, one.
what we doing over in the chat? Wow, the stream is really delayed today. Yeah, there's super weird shit. Everything's fine. No, she's not. Don't. So so far is shit.
Dion then went about his usual ways of use, driving around recklessly on the road, which led to the traffic stop and ultimately his arrest. The entire arrest was documented on his Instagram Live, which had over 20,000 views. The officer even told him that he initially just planned on issuing a warning. Because of the warrant, he had no choice but to take it. Even though he was getting arrested live on the street, Dion was so unaffected by the entire thing that he even asked the police officer to depose him.
Are you making a game? No, I'm looking at something. Excuse me, what is that? Nothing. I am making a game, yes. What are you looking at? Nothing. Yes, I'm making a game. I'm making a game. I'm actually making an FNF game. What is that? I got a virus that shows me that image. That controls my body and makes me do that image.
Known for pushing the limit into its content. It's also a prime example that you need to be careful with text-to-speech donation alerts, because if the wrong message was read aloud, your entire career could blow up in your face. On May 31st, 2015, Andy was streaming himself walking around the University of Washington campus, sitting in on lectures and even interacting with some students. But just minutes into the stream, a donation...
Look, I'm working on an FNF mod. Right here. Look.
A text-to-speech alert is a type of...
Look, right here. It's an FNF mod. I'm working on it.
The message then plays on screen. This incident, the message that was attached to a $4.20 donation was a fake bomb threat.
Attention. Arrest been successfully activated. The countdown successfully started.
Instinctively, everyone ran out of the classroom. No one wanted to risk being a victim of an explosion. A student in the classroom detailed their experience on a Reddit forum, saying that Andy had walked in suspiciously, lingering by the door and with a large backpack. Although, looking back, it seemed a bit obvious that it was a prank. In that moment, no one wanted to take any chances, especially since Andy was a complete stranger. Never been seen before in that class. After the alert went off, Andy remained in the classroom so that he could film the students and the professors running away for his stream. It seemed as though Andy wasn't understanding the severity of the situation. He continued to stroll through the hallways as if nothing had even happened. He made it as far as the nearby town before the police caught up to him.
Yo, what's what?
Captured on stream.
There's a chicken.
He shouldn't be arrested.
What are you doing, bro? Hey, this was an officer. Put your hand behind his back. What? Anything wrong, bro?
The video then shows Andy getting pushed onto the ground and cuffs being placed on him before it eventually goes dark, with only audio being heard. The situation wasn't already
I have
serious.
more.
Andy's community
What?
took it upon
I have
themselves
more.
to make things even worse.
There's a chicken hatching out of this egg. I have more photos of GF. There's a chicken hatching out of this egg. Why is it broken? There's a chicken hatching. No, it's not.
This wasn't even the first time using text-to-speech donation messages to cause public disturbance.
Yeah, I have a bunch.
Previously under fire for playing messages containing slurs on public transportation stirred up a bit of controversy. But the scale of this prank was much higher than usual. An entire college campus had to be evacuated and shut down because of this trolling, which is why he was arrested and given a hefty bail of $75,000. After this incident, Andy has seemingly disappeared from the internet. No one knows if it's for good, but there hasn't been any word of his return since. While Andy's decline can be traced back to his inappropriate text-to-speech messages, some content creators are responsible for their own downfall. The most well-known case, Uzi2. Uzi2, a famous YouTuber and young people. One of the biggest content creators out there for years. I used to love watching his videos like ages ago. Recently, his content has shifted and fans have become more and more worried about his mental well-being. Since Uzi had started focusing on live streaming, it's become easier for his fans to see the red flags in his behavior. With streaming, everything was happening in real time, which meant there was no edits or changes to footage. This made it much harder for Uzi to hide his mental state from his audience. In August of 2023, Uzi has been doing a subathon for his King channel, which is a continuous live stream that goes on for as long as the timer is running. With the timer increasing with every new subscription and donation, the stream was live 24/7. During the subathon, Uzi had shown some strange behavior. For example, he decided to walk through the traffic on a busy freeway, which caused many of his fans to be concerned as to why he would do such a thing. Things really started to unravel on August 23rd, 2023. Uzi was streaming from his Miami hotel room and started to become insanely paranoid. He already openly expressed to his community that he'd been struggling with some mental health issues due to excessive internet hate. And in his stream, you could see how all this was affecting him. Uzi was clearly wound up about something and looked extremely scared. He kept telling his stream that he had a stalker who knew his hotel room number and felt unsafe in his room. He also claimed that the stalker had been calling him and his mother, making threats to their lives. Uzi escalated this to the cops as a result. While live on stream, he talked to a dispatcher, convincing them that he was in Uzi would even go as far to say that there was a gun pointed at him to try to get the police sent to his hotel.
I'm gonna stop. This turns to chaos.
With the dispatcher, Uzi then proceeded to record videos for his other social media on his phone. And when concerned friends started calling his phone to get him help, Uzi took to his stream to address everyone.
I don't know you. Every single one of you, I don't know you. I don't know you further than you know you.
I'm just gonna eat a fish off. No, stop.
Four Miami police officers arrived at
Stop.
after searching the room and seeing that there was no immediate danger. The dispatch called and claimed. Officers began asking him some questions. Uzi mentioned he didn't feel safe because someone had been making Even though the cops were listening to his story, Uzi was frustrated action, which led him to become even more
Just calm down now.
Uzi continuously tells the officers that although he doesn't know the identity of the stalker, he does know their address and expressed his desire for the police to arrest the stalker and invite him back to the scene. Despite what he was saying, officers could tell that Uzi was ultimately safe and that they were planning on leaving, but Uzi would not let that happen. That's when he started screaming and shouting. He was swearing at them, calling them idiots because he was clearly in danger and they needed to protect him.
I checked out nearly 20 minutes ago.
No actual leads and a mentally unstable person in their midst, the officer decided the best course of action was to arrest Uzi. Despite multiple attempts to get him to calm down, police officers couldn't get Uzi to relax. They ultimately had to put him in cuffs and take him away. Uzi was enraged by this, threatened the cops with public shaming from the community as well as legal action. Even as he was getting arrested, Uzi didn't stop screaming and yelling things like "Free Uzi" while he was being taken down to the station live on stream. It was said later on that although Uzi was detained for a brief period, they recommended mental health evaluation and a stay in a mental institution rather than a jail sentence. The cops believed that he needed severe help. My friends, let these incidents remind you of one important thing. The internet is written in pen, not pencil. Visual venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist to watch more videos about the dark side of internet culture because it would mean the world to me. Have an absolutely beautiful week, everybody.
What are all those touchscreens doing to all those growing little brains? All she wants from the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products. You 11-year-old Olivia Klein is obsessed with beauty products.
This grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on his list. 8th grade.
Generation Alpha, the supposed future leaders and current generation of our society. The way they're growing up, will they actually be the future generation to make an impact, or is Gen Alpha as doomed as people say it is? Who are Generation Alpha? Gen Alpha are people born between 2010 and 2025 is said to become the most populated generation in history with over 2.8 million kids born every week. They follow Gen Z and are the children of the millennial generation. Although Gen Alpha is populating a large amount of society, why do other generations think there's no hope for this generation? With countless cases of kids acting out in public, lashing out, and behaving erratically, many believe that Gen Alpha is already ruined. You see babies and toddlers often throwing temper tantrums the second their smart devices are taken away, and teachers are begging parents to do something because their kids barely scrape by in school. Time and time again, we hear about just how doomed Gen Alpha is. But where are these horror stories coming from? And what makes Gen Alpha so different from all the generations before them? The short answer, the internet. The rise of iPad kids. When you think of a kid in today's day and age, how do you picture them? Most of you probably had an image of a kid with an iPad in their hands, right? That's because Gen Alpha is not only the youngest generation, but also the most technologically dependent one. Generation Alpha was raised by screens, whether by TV, a computer, or the infamous iPad. With almost 80% of kids owning an iPad or another version of a tablet, we can't deny the nickname that many call this generation, iPad kids.
This is what happens when mom and dad say Ashley Brooks.
Since their creation, iPads have been used as a tool for parents who are simply too busy with work. Technology has proven to be a hassle-free way of keeping kids occupied, whether at public places and social events or just during the day-to-day. With iPads being an evolved version of parenting in the 20th century, screens are simply considered the new net.